The air was filled with an unsettling silence as Enoch moved forward with firm steps. Despite his determination, he was imbued with a divine purpose. The ancient valley lay in shadow beneath the menacing peaks of Lebanon and Senza. There, among the shadows, stood figures unlike any other on earth. They were the Watchers, the fallen sons of heaven. Once magnificent in their splendor, they were now marked by the weight of their transgressions. Azazel sat among them, his once glorious face now troubled by an unyielding fear. Enoch raised his voice, each syllable resonating with the authority of the Most High. Azazel, you shall have no peace. A severe sentence has been decreed against you, to bind you in chains. There will be no tolerance, nor will your requests be granted, due to the wickedness you have taught, and all the acts of iniquity and malice you have shown to men. A murmur of unease spread among the gathered watchers, fear gripping their hearts as they felt the weight of Enoch's words. Azazel, a leader in the desecration of the earth, clenched his fists, his fiery eyes darkened with the dread of impending ruin. The silence was broken by the low whispers of the fallen, their voices rising in desperation. Enoch, intercede for us. Draft a petition for our forgiveness. Speak on our behalf to the Lord of Heaven. Enoch, moved by the sight of their desperation but steadfast in his mission, nodded solemnly. He took his parchment and wrote their plea, detailing their spirits, their deeds, and their cries for mercy. Upon completing his task, he journeyed to the waters of Dan, a place free from corruption, to present his petition before the Almighty. As he sat by the waters, fatigue overcame him, and he fell into a deep sleep. In his dream, visions overwhelmed him. A great voice, like the rolling thunder of creation itself, called out to him. He saw the Judge M that would fall upon the Watchers, chains of burning fire that would bind them until the final reconciliation. The earth groaned under the weight of their sins, and the heavens refused to hear their cries. When Enoch awoke, his heart was heavy with the knowledge he carried. He returned to the Watchers, who had gathered in the prison of Abel, their faces veiled in sorrow. As he approached, their weeping grew louder, a cacophony of desperation. They looked at him with hope, but the words Enoch spoke shattered any remaining illusions of relief. "The Most High has spoken," Enoch declared. "Your petition has been rejected. You shall never again raise your eyes to the heavens, nor will your voices be heard in his presence. Your condemnation is sealed." The Watchers trembled, their celestial forms shaken with grief and anger. They had once been powerful, residing in the courts of the Most High, but now they were cast aside, lost in the abyss of their own making. El, who had led them in rebellion, bowed his head as the shadows around him seemed to deepen, realizing their final fate. But Enoch was not yet finished. The third and most terrifying revelation remained. "I saw the vision of your end," he continued. "Flames will consume you. Chains will bind you in the depths of the abyss, and your name will be a curse among men and angels. The sons of men you tried to corrupt will rise against you." The Watchers cried out in horror. They had sought to be kings among men, gods in their own right, but now they were no more than condemned souls awaiting destruction. The sky darkened as if mourning their fate, and the wind howled through the valley, carrying away their lamentations. Enoch walked away, his duty fulfilled. As he journeyed, he felt neither triumph nor sorrow, only the weight of justice on his shoulders. He had delivered the message, and now the fate of the fallen was eternally sealed. The three things Enoch had spoken of, the sentence of bondage, the denial of peace, and the finality of their shame, had struck him to the core. Enoch took one last look at them, his heart heavy with the knowledge of what was to come. Then he turned and walked away, leaving the fallen angels to their fate. The sky remained dark, the stars hidden behind a veil of clouds. But as Enoch walked, a single beam of light broke through, illuminating the path before him. He knew his work was not yet done. There were still many who needed to hear the words of justice. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of peace, aware that he had done what was asked of him. And as the light grew, he felt a sense of hope, a hope that even in the darkest times, truth would prevail. From the days of slaughter and destruction, from the time when giants roamed the earth, beings of immense strength and terrifying power, there has been a shadow over human history. These were the Nephilim, the offspring of the fallen watchers, spirits born from a divine transgression. Their souls, separated from their earthly bodies, now roam the world, sowing chaos among the living. They destroy without judgment, bound by the decree of the Most High until the day of consummation, the great judgment, when the era will be entirely consumed. The Watchers, celestial beings who once beheld the divine glory of heaven, were meant to watch, not to intervene. However, driven by a forbidden desire, they abandoned their posts and descended to earth. In their lust, they took human wives and fathered monstrous offspring, giants whose presence would change the fate of the world. They were given the knowledge of heaven, but not all mysteries had been revealed. What they knew was only a fraction of the divine order, and yet, in the hardness of their hearts, they chose to share these secrets with humanity. They revealed useless secrets, secrets that should have remained hidden, and through these mysteries, men and women have committed countless evils on earth. The giants, born from a forbidden union, grew in power and number. Their hunger was insatiable, their violence knew no bounds. They turned against the people of the earth and over time, even against each other. It was an age of horror, a time when humanity trembled under the feet of beings that saw them as little more than cattle. Enoch, the scribe of justice, was chosen to witness the fate of the Watchers and their offspring. He was sent as a mediator to bring the word to the fallen angels who once walked in the courts of heaven, but the answer from above was unyielding. "Tell them that they shall have no peace," said Enoch. "The cries of the innocent have reached heaven, and the Most High has decreed the ruin of the Watchers and their sons. A flood would come, cleansing the world of their corruption. The giants would be slain, their spirits would cease to wander the desolation of the earth until the last day of reconciliation. And the Watchers themselves, chained in darkness, would await their judgment. The great flood swept over the earth, purging the land of giants and their wickedness, but their spirits endured, lurking as invisible forces whispering evil to the hearts of men. They became the origins of demons, the invisible tormentors of the world, forever bound to destruction, and thus their influence remains through the mysteries they imparted. Men still seek forbidden power, the arts of war, the sciences of destruction, the knowledge leading to ruin, all are echoes of that ancient betrayal. Even now the spirits of the Nephilim stir in the shadows, awaiting their appointed end. But the end is written. The day of consummation will come, the era will be completed, and judgment will be executed. The Watchers and the wicked will be entirely consumed, their dominion no more, and then, perhaps at last, peace will return to the earth. Thank you for your support.